Hello there, very good evening. This is the weekend edition of Primetime News on TV1 for the Newsfirst, where the people come first. I'm Martin Satyanesan. Let's start off with a look at your headlines for this evening.
We form the government. Nimal Siripala tells inaugural rally of the SLFP alliance. We will regain the stolen power. A statement from the SLPP General Secretary.
වැරදි විදියට අපෙන් දෙයක් ගත්තනම් අපි අනිවාර්යෙන් ඒක නැවත ගන්නවා. උඹලට ඒක තියාගන්න දෙන්නේ නැහැ කියන කාරණය.
Samagi Fisheries Policy unveiled in Chilau.
මේ වසර අවසානයේ බිහිවෙන පොදු ජන ආණ්ඩුව හරහා පොදු ජන ජනාධිපතිවරයා හරහා මේ රටේ ධීවර ප්‍රජාව ගොඩගන්නවාමයි කියන එක මම මේ අවස්ථාවේ ප්‍රකාශ කරනවා.
Face the election without putting the people's fundamental rights in jeopardy. NPP challenges the government. Gammatha connects Ridhimalyath's Kolayaya and Aladenia with new bridge. All set for Modi's swearing-in ceremony tomorrow. The Election Commission will be empowered to proclaim the date for the presidential election in 39 days.
Out of those stories in detail. In just few days, the Election Commission will be empowered to proclaim the date for the presidential election. Against such a backdrop, the inaugural rally of the new alliance led by the Sri Lanka Freedom Party was held in Ambalanthota under the theme Dinumaratata Ekva Perata, loosely translated to victory for the country, moving forward together.
The rally organised by the Sri Lanka Freedom Party senior vice chairman was attended by parliamentarians representing various political factions in Sri Lanka. SLFP chairman Nimal Siripala de Silva and others including Duminda Disanayaka, Lasantha Lagiyawarna, Jagat Pushpakumara, Priyankar Jayaratna, Chamara Sampath Dasanayaka, John Seniviratna, Premanath Dolavatta, Susil Premajayantha, Andhra Priyadarshana Yapa, Nimal Lansa attended the rally.
අද මේ වේදිකාවේ ඉන්නවා පාර්ලිමේන්තුව නියෝජනය කරන മന്ത്രിවරු 19ක් ඉන්නවා මේ වෙනකොට.
There are 19 MPs representing the parliament on this stage today. Many conferences and meetings were organized by those who are daydreaming of being candidates. But they weren't able to bring this kind of a group of MPs to one stage. We only need 2.5 months to form an alliance, to appoint a president and to form a government. We are capable of that.
ආණ්ඩුව හදන්න මිත්‍රවරුනි. ඒ හැකියාව අපිට තියෙනවා.
මේ සියලුම දෙනා අද එකතු වෙලා ඉන්නේ රට දිනවන ගමනට කියන එක අපි විශේෂයෙන් මතක්.
We have gathered here today regardless of differences with one aim towards the country's victory. I assure that this group on stage today will appoint a president in the upcoming elections.
කියන මැතිවරණේ ජනාධිපතිවරයා හදන්නේ වෙන කවුරුත්ම නෙමේ මේ වේදිකාවේ ඉන්න මේ පිරිස කියන එක මේ පිරිස නතු ජනාධිපතිගෙන මෙයාට හදන්න බෑ කියන එක අපි තාමත් පැහැදිලිව කියන්න ඕනකම තියෙනවා.
අද හරියට අර මාස 10ක් විලිලාලා දරුවෙක් ඉපදුනා වගේ සන්දානය කියන දරුවා අද හම්බන්තොටදී අපට ප්‍රසූත කරලා.
We are happy to present this alliance to the people today here in Hambantota. This political journey of the SLFP alliance will definitely form a government. We have saved SLFP from being an orphan. The party has no divisions and is united. The party will move forward with the strength received from this alliance. We will form a government. For that, we need to be armed with political strength first.
පක්ෂයට ශක්තියක් හම්බ වෙනවා මේ සන්දානය තුලින් අපි ආණ්ඩුවක් හදනවා අපේ. ඒ නිසා තමුන්නාන්සලා මේ පිළිබඳව ආර්ථික ප්‍රතිපත්තියද ඒ ඔක්කොටම ඉස්සෙල්ලා දේශපාලන වශයෙන් අපි සන්නද්ධ වෙන්න ඕනේ. මේ පක්ෂේ පහුගිය කාලෙම තිබුණේ අඩු කිරීම බෙදී ඉස්සෙල්ලා බෙදීමක් හදනවා.
We could only see layoffs and divisions in the party recently, dividing as different groups and creating more groups to be against them. But here onwards, this party will only see additions. SLFP doesn't take impulsive decisions. All decisions are taken collectively as a party. We assure that many other political giants will join this alliance by next week, but only those who loves the country and free from fraud and corruption.
වැඩි කාලයක් යන්නේ ලබන සතියේ ඉඳලා ඒ වැඩපිළිවෙල ඔබට දකින්න ලැබෙනවායි කියන එකත් මා සඳහන් කරන්න කැමතියි.
The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna stressed that it will regain the party's lost power. This was during the SLPP Rattara Electorate Conference held under the theme Mahapoluve Balapurutwa, loosely translated to the hope of the land. The conference was held with the SLPP national organizer Namal Rajapaksa in attendance.
The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna Electorate Conference was held with many, including SLPP General Secretary Sagar Kariyavasan, in attendance.
We will revolutionize this country soon. Namal Rajapaksa said that we will continue to build on the Mahinda Rajapaksa policy. If anyone is thinking that we are trying to correspond it to someone else's policy, we will prove them wrong. If anyone tries to sell this country, we will stop them. If someone is trying to use us and destroy this country, we will not allow it. Namal Rajapaksa will collaborate with us and save this country better than how Mahinda Rajapaksa saved the country.
කවුරු හරි හිතනවා නම් රට විකුණලා ප්‍රතිපත්ති මාරු කරන්න ඒව වානා. කවුරු හරි හිතනවා නම් අපේ කර පිටින් ගිහලා රටට කෙලවන්න ඒව වානා. මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ මේ රට සිරකුවාට වඩා ශක්තිවන්තව නාමල් රාජපක්ෂ අපි සමග එකතු වෙලා මේ රට බේර ගන්නවා කියන විශ්වාසය ඔබට අපට තියෙනවා. එදා අපිට හොරා කිව්වා. අපෝ හිරේ දැම්මා.
They called us thieves and put us behind bars. We were released by the court. The committees that put us behind bars comprised of all the current presidential candidates. The parties that ate off the war is attempting to eat off bribery and corruption. They come to power to catch thieves. You don't need to bring a president to power to catch thieves. You can delegate that task to an IGP. The SLPP will take on the responsibility of eradicating bribery and corruption by using modern revolutionized technology to implement new laws. We will not allow room for anyone to obtain power by using a crime eradicating agenda.
තවත් අවුරුදු 30ක් හොරු වල්ලන න්‍යායෙන් දේශපාලන බලයට එන්න අපි ඉඩ තියන්නේ නැහැ. තව එක පොරොන්දුවක් අපි සෑම වෙනුවෙන් දෙන්නම්. 69 ලක්ෂයක් ජනතාව අපිට බලය දුන්නේ මේ රට විකුණන්නවත්.
We will make a promise on behalf of all of us. 6.9 million people who brought us into power. That is not to sell or divide this nation. They didn't give us the power to compromise the country's sovereignty or to ruin the people's future. But the power that was bestowed was robbed from us. It was robbed in an incorrect manner. If they took our power incorrectly, we will definitely regain that power. We will not let you all keep it.
The Samagi Fisheries Conference got underway in Shillong today. The conference was held under the auspices of SJB leader and opposition leader Sajid Premadasa.
Sajid Premadasa මැතිතුමා කියන්නේ හැම මොහොතකම ප්‍රශ්නට උත්තරයක් හොයන්න කියලා.
Sajid Premadasa tells us every second to find a solution for issues. Our camp is ever ready to find answers for the people's questions and solve their issues under the leadership of Sajid Premadasa. We will take this wave forward. We will go on from village to meet fisher folk. We should all prepare to make Sajid Premadasa the president of this country in the upcoming presidential election.
අපි සියලු දෙනාම සූදානම් වෙමු සැප්තැම්බර් මාසයේ පවත්වන ජනාධිපතිවරණයේදී සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස මැතිතුමා මේ රටේ ජනාධිපතිපුටුවේ වාඩි වෙලා අපේ රට අලුත් රටක් හැටියට නිර්මාණය කියන එක ප්‍රකාශ කරමින් තමුන්නාසලා සියලු දෙනාටම ජය වේවා.
තෙල් සානාධාරය
By reducing fuel prices and waiving off tax burdens for equipment, we will work towards developing the fisheries industry in a government led by Sajid Premadasa. Remember that even though we are surrounded by the ocean, the fisheries industry contribution for the country's GDP is 1.1%. We will change this situation. We will build a new fisheries industry by using new and modernized equipment. The request of the fisherfolk is some relief with regard to fuel and tax waive-offs for equipment. We will implement programs such as dry fish manufacturing, centering women in fisher families in an effort to empower women. We will strengthen the entire fishing community. We will unveil the new national fisheries policy. Through that program, we will use maritime resources we enjoy as an island to strengthen sustainable development. We will revolutionize the country's fishing industry.
පුනර්ජීවයක් ඇති කරන්නට අපි අනිවාර්යෙන්ම කැප වෙනවයි කියන එක මම මේ අවස්ථාවේ ප්‍රකාශ කරනවා.
Speaking at a media briefing, former Minister Ravi Karunanayake said that President Ranil Wickremesinghe will definitely contest the upcoming presidential election.
ජනාධිපතිවරණය අපි නිර්පාක්ෂිකව රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ ඉදිරිපත් කළා. අපි සියලුම පක්ෂවල සහයෝගය පාවිච්චි කළා. අපි ඒ මහා ඡන්දයක් අපි ඉදිරිපත් වෙනවා. ඒ නිශ්චිත වශයෙන්ම ජනාධිපතිතුමා තරඟ කරනවද? අනිවාර්යයෙන්. දැන් ඔබතුමාලා මේ පොදු ජන පෙරමුණේ සහාය ඉල්ලුවද පෙරේද දවසේ සාකච්ඡාවක් තිබුණද පොදු ජන පෙරමුණත් තිබුණා? නෑ අපි හැම පක්ෂයක් එක්කම මේව කළා. අර පක්ෂද මේ පක්ෂද සියලුම පක්ෂ එකතු කරලා තමයි අපි වැඩ කරන්නේ. ආද්ද මේ පොදු සම්දාන ඒ දක්වන්නේ මම තනියෙන් උත්තර දෙනවට වැඩිය මට කියන්න පුළුවන් වන්නේ මේක තව දවස් 10-12කින් ඔබතුමාට පෙනේවි මේ සම්බන්ධයෙන් ඉදිරිපත් කිරීම එකමුතුභාවයක් ඇති කිරීම රට සංවර්ධනය කරන්න ගමන් කිරීම.
The National People's Power challenged the government to face the election without putting the people's fundamental rights in jeopardy.
Ranil is successfully fishing from Sajid's camp. In retaliation, Sajid is getting anyone and everyone, even the corrupt, previously in the Rajapaksa camp in the name of damage control. When he goes to Anuradhapura, he gets Tissa. When he goes to Ampara, he gets another Rajapaksa. When he goes to Badulla, he gets Dilan Pereira. No matter where you go, trash will always be trash. Let them divide their trash. We are uniting intellectual people in this country. Now make a decision. Sometimes all this trash may unite and our opponent can turn into one entity. What we have to say is face us in the next election. We will deal with it then. Even though Rajapaksas, Ranil and Sirasa have no solution for the people's issues, the constitution paves way for plenty. The presidential election is enshrined in the constitution. It says how and when it should take place. That authority is vested with the election commission. They cannot ignore their responsibility. Therefore, Ranil will have to dance to the tune of the election commission and constitution. He cannot take turns or try to hide. Respect the sovereignty of the people and respect the democracy of this country and call for elections.
ජනතා පරමාධිපත්‍ය බලයට ගරු කරලා මෙරටේ ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදයට ගරු කරලා ඡන්දෙට එන්න.
The United National Party political offices are being set up ahead of the elections. 7 offices were inaugurated in Anuradhapura today. The main office of the Kakiravi electorate was inaugurated today under the chairmanship of the Deputy General Secretary of the party, Krishan Theodore.
The United National Party rose like the phoenix from the ancient Greek tales and opened an office in Anuradhapura today, aiming the victory in the presidential election. Today, our president is playing a vital role in building this country. We have to be very careful because there are many barriers in this journey. It is dangerous for us to go on this journey with drivers who have elbows. We need an experienced driver. This is not the time to take risks. We should not forget that the most experienced driver is President Ranil Wickremesinghe. The presidential election will come first. Ranil Wickremesinghe will be the common candidate in that election. There are no candidates from SLPP. Don't doubt it. Many people say various things, but there are no other candidates. Not even from SLFP, but the great elephant of SLFP is with Ranil Wickremesinghe. Duminda Disanayake, who was here, said that they are forming an alliance, and today they have a meeting in Hambantota saying that they will vote for Ranil Wickremesinghe this time. Minister of Power says to the media that his support is for Ranil Wickremesinghe regardless of SLPP's support. President opened his election office and Prime Minister and many ministers including Bandula Gunawardena have visited. That makes it clear Ranil Wickremesinghe is the common candidate. The people of the North, Thondamans groups in plantation, trade union leaders are ready to support him in the presidential election. There is no doubt about his victory. I assure if Ranil Wickremesinghe wins, he will win with over 1 million votes.
එහෙනම් මොකද තව තියෙන්නේ මේ මෙතුමාගේ ජයග්‍රහණය ගැන කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ මම අදත් කියනවා රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ දිනුවොත් දිනන්නේ ලක්ෂ 100කට එහාට.
Deep in Badula, the villages of Koleaya and Aladenia in Ridimali Abda face a seasonal nightmare. Every monsoon season, a small stream transforms into a roaring obstacle, cutting them off from the rest of the world. This is the harsh reality of these villagers.
ඔය වතුරාව යන්න වෙන්නේ අපිට ඉස්කෝලේට ඒ ගැන ගොඩක් කනගාටුයි වතුර වෙනකොට මේ පාලමේ විදිහින් මේ වැල එල්ලගෙන තමයි අපි ඔය මේකට ගොඩ වෙන්නේ
තව චුට්ටක් වෙලා මේ විදිහින් මැස්සොත් දෙගොඩ තලාලා යන්න වතුර එනවා එතකොට කිසි කෙනෙකුට ආය යන්න බෑ යන්න කිසිම පහසුකමක් නැහැ.
Deep in the heart of Badulla, the villages of Koleaya and Aladenia in Ridimaliappa know a struggle all too well. Imagine this. A single mother in Koleaya watches helplessly as the rising stream swallows the only path to her son's school. A bright spark in Aladenia longs to join the school football match, but the muddy torrent stands between him and his dreams. For our hardworking farmers, their livelihood drowns in the rising water. Their freshly harvested crops wilt in the fields, unable to reach the market. This is the harsh reality of Ridimaliappa's monsoon season. But today, there's a twist in this tale of woe. Gammadda, Sri Lanka's most impactful rural development movement, has heard their cries. The foundation stone for a life-changing bridge and road was laid this morning. Speedmark Transportation Lanka, a company with a heart as big as its trucks, and their chief are stepping up to build this bridge. A bridge that will conquer the stream. A bridge that will connect lives. A bridge that will rewrite Ridimaliappa's story.
Today is a significant day, but an even happier one awaits us in about 90 days, when the construction of this bridge is completed and it becomes a public resource. That will truly embody the spirit of the Gammadda movement. Gammadda is built on the foundation of strong leadership. A great leader possesses both intellect and a clean conscience. But leadership goes beyond one individual. Gammadda recognizes that the true leaders of this movement are the people of our country. Their unwavering support is the lifeblood of Gammadda, and without them, the movement would cease to exist. Today is a happy day for my colleagues, family and myself. We previously worked together with the Gammadda team on a water purification project. That experience gave me a deep appreciation for Gammadda's dedication. After seeing the bridge nearing completion, I felt that reconstructing the roads on either side would be a perfect complement. So we decided to take on that additional construction project as well.
Serena Grant of the Walk Free Foundation in Australia also graced the foundation stone laying ceremony. Brick by brick, this bridge and road will become a symbol of unity. It will connect Ridimaliappa's Koleaya and Aladenia to the rest of the world. The rainy season blues will be a thing of the past. This is about us, about extending a hand, sharing our city's convenience, and building a brighter future together.
Newsfirst with the people.
Chief of Defence Staff General Shavendra Silva has been granted a service extension through an extraordinary gazette notification.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe has appointed General Shavendra Silva as the Chief of Defence Staff until the 31st of December 2024. The Extraordinary Gazette was issued extending General Shavendra Silva's term as Chief of Defence Staff under Section 3 of the Chief of Defence Staff Act number 35 of 2009. General Silva's new term runs from the 1st of June to the 31st of December 2024.
Meanwhile, the Constitutional Council will consider the recommendation for a service extension for Attorney General Sanjay Rajaratnam on Monday.
The Constitutional Council will consider the recommendations for a service extension for Attorney General Sanjay Rajaratnam proposed by President Ranil Wickremesinghe on Monday. The Constitutional Council is scheduled to meet under the chairmanship of the Speaker. The President recently recommended a 6-month extension for Attorney General Sanjay Rajaratnam. Speaker Mahinda Ababewardena said necessary steps have already been taken to obtain legal clarification on the matter. Attorney General Sanjay Rajaratnam is scheduled to retire on the 26th of June.
Today, the world joins together to celebrate World Oceans Day themed Awaken New Depths. This day serves as a powerful reminder of the critical role healthy oceans play in sustaining life on Earth.
To raise awareness of the world's oceans, an International Oceans Day was first proposed in 1992. On the 8th of June in 1992, the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development and Canada's Ocean Institute first proposed the idea. As a result, in 2008, the United Nations declared the 8th of June as World Ocean Day. The main objective of World Oceans Day are to raise awareness of the impact of human actions on the ocean, to develop citizens' movements for the oceans worldwide, and to mobilize and unite world's population. Our planet is dominated by water, with oceans covering a staggering 71% of Earth's surface. However, only a tiny fraction, roughly 0.3%, is fresh water readily available for human consumption. The remaining 97% exists as salt water in the oceans, which teems with life. A staggering 95% of all animals on Earth call ocean home. The ocean plays an essential role in regulating our climate, absorbing a significant portion of the carbon dioxide we produce. It's also a vital source of oxygen, with estimates suggesting between 50% and 85% of the oxygen we breathe come from the ocean. The ocean provides us with food and resources, making it a vital part of our global food chain and economy. Yet, despite its immense contribution, the ocean faces significant threats. Pollution, particularly plastic waste, is a major concern.
On World Oceans Day, Sri Lanka is highlighting the ongoing environmental crisis caused by the destruction of the Express Pearl maritime disaster 3 years ago. The incident, which released the largest ever amount of plastic pollution into the sea of Sri Lanka, has had a devastating impact on the country's marine ecosystem and continues to pose a threat to public health.
Over 1,680 metric tons of plastic noodles have been collected since Express Pearl maritime disaster 3 years ago, a stark reminder of the long-lasting damage caused by plastic pollution. Experts warn that this plastic will take centuries to decompose, posing a significant threat to marine life. The accident also involves the spillage of 81 containers of hazardous material, including 25 tons of nitric acid. This devastating maritime disaster not only resulted in the release of the largest documented amount of plastic pollution into the Sea of Sri Lanka, but also caused the deaths of countless marine animals, including turtles and palm fish. Despite extensive legal work undertaken in Sri Lanka and abroad, no accountability has been established for the environmental damage. The Sri Lankan government remains concerned about the lack of compensation for the deconstruction of its natural resources. But did any of it benefit the country or its ocean resources?
ඒ හානිය 2022 නොවැම්බර් මාස වෙනකන් ගණනය කර අපේ විද්වත් කමිටුවක්
Our expert committee assessed damages till November 2022. The damage was assessed at $6.4 billion. The government officials did not let us continue with further assessments. There was a rumor that foreign insurance companies have paid the government to pay a sum of compensation for the damage. The Minister of Justice too requested that an investigation be carried out regarding these allegations. What are the developments of these investigations? None of us know. There is a possibility that these investigations could have been buried. We are asking the government why they are continuing to demand the $6.4 billion in damages that have been assessed.
ඇයි මේ ඩොලර් බිලියන 6.4ක පන්දියක් තක්සේරු කරලා තියෙද්දි ඒක ලබා ගැනීමට ඉඩකඩ තියෙද්දි ඒ සම්බන්ධව කටයුතු නොකරන.
Professor Richard Thompson, a British environmental expert, arrived in Sri Lanka to examine the plastic debris stored in warehouses. He is working alongside Australian lawyer Michelle Traylor to prepare a report on the impact of pollution on the Sea of Sri Lanka for the upcoming court cases in Singapore and London. Sri Lanka boasts a vast maritime zone, the Sea of Sri Lanka, an invaluable resource encompassing an area of 517,000 square kilometers. This exclusive economic zone extends far beyond the island nation's coastline and is a staggering 8 times the size of Sri Lanka's landmass of 65,610 square kilometers. While not landlocked, the Sea of Sri Lanka holds a unique location on the shipping route connecting countries like China, Japan, Singapore, and major oil-producing markets in the Middle East. This strategic positioning underscores the importance of the Sea of Sri Lanka for Sri Lanka's economic development. Has the focus on Sri Lanka's land area overshadowed the importance of protecting and utilizing its vast maritime resources?
The lower Kadugarnava section of the main Colombo-Kandy road is currently closed. Director of the Disaster Management Centre, Pradeep Kudipilli, said that the section will be closed from 7:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. This closure is due to the removal process of dangerous rocks in the area. He added that although the road will reopen to traffic at 11:30 p.m., people should use caution while driving on the road until tomorrow morning. Meanwhile, the Meteorological Department has forecast an increase in rainfall across several areas starting today. Fairly heavy showers above 75 millimeters are likely at some places in the western and Sabaragamu provinces and in the Nuwara, Galle and Mathura districts.
Even though a week has passed since the flooding caused by overflowing of the Nilwala River, many low-lying areas including Kadduwa, Katuwangoda, Walletota, North in the Malimbara Divisional Secretariat are still inundated, causing significant disruption to traffic in Walletota. Newsfirst correspondents reported that around 100 families have been displaced due to the floods. While water levels are gradually receding, residents are facing sanitation difficulties. Although water has receded slightly on byroads, large mounds, bushes and debris make them impassable. The Malimbara Divisional Secretariat, in collaboration with the Sri Lanka Navy, has stepped in to provide cooked meals to displaced families using boats. Meanwhile, authorities are also clearing branches from dangerous trees in Lower Kadugarnava, leading to temporary closure of roads.
In some tragic news, 2 people were killed when a car collided with a train at the Enneramula railway crossing this morning.
The nightmare train running from Badulla to Fort collided with a car at around 6 a.m. this morning.
ඉන්ටර්වුම් ලැබෙත්තිනා මාබෝල් පැත්තට යන වාහනේ දැම්මා. රාජ්‍ය හැප්පුණා. ඇපිලා වාහනේ මෙතනට වෙනකන් ඇදගෙන ආවා. ඇදගෙන ඇවිල්ලා ඒක ගෑනු කෙනාට පන්නතුව. අනිත් ඊට පස්සේ කොළඹින්දන් ආපු කෝච්චියට හැප්පුට තමයි ගෑනු කෙනා නැතුව.
පළවෙනි පිල්ලේ ආපු එකට හැප්පිලා කාර් එක මෙහෙට ඇදගෙන ඇවිල්ලා දෙවෙනි කියන එකට තමයි ගෑනු කෙනා.
හැපිලා කෝච්චිය හිර වුණා ඇතුළේ.
හිර වෙලා හිටියේ. කට්ටිය එකතු වෙලා තමයි ගත්තේ මරණ දෙකම.
A 54-year-old man and a 34-year-old woman died in the accident. Their remains have been taken to the Colombo North Teaching Hospital in Ragama. The Enneramula railway crossing, located near Enneramula railway station, is heavily used by locals. This road is the shortest route to reach Negombo Road from that area.
මේක එක පැත්තකට විතරයි එන පැත්තකට විතරයි පේන්නේ අනිත් අයට කිසිම කෙනෙක්ට මේක බලා ගන්න හැකියාවක් නැහැ ඒ නිසා එන රියදුරෙක්ට මේ සංඥා කණුව පේන්නේ නැති නිසා ඕනෑම අවස්ථාවක නොදැනුවත් කමින් මේ පාරට දාන්න පුළුවන්.
There's also no security gate system at this crossing.
රේල් ගේට් එකක් නෑ ඒක හරි අවදානම් මේ දැන් එක පාරක් නෙමේ කීප වතාවක්ම ඕක වුණා.
Considering the dangerous condition of this crossing, local residents try to set up a railway gate themselves, but they face challenges from the Department of Railways.
ඉල්ලීමක් කරා අඩුම වශයෙන් අපිට මේක පෞද්ගලිකව හරි අපි මේ ස්ථානය සකස් කරන්නම් කියලා. ඒ අවස්ථාවේදී දුම්රිය දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවෙන් අපිට 1,78 ලක්ෂයක ඇස්තමේන්තුවක් ලබා දුන්නා. තාමත්ම කනගාටුදායක කාරණය තමයි මේ 1,78 ලක්ෂයක ඇස්තමේන්තුවෙන් ලක්ෂ 89ක්ම ඔවුන්ගේ කම්කරුවන් සහ ඔවුන්ගේ අධීක්ෂණය සඳහා තමයි වෙන් කරලා තිබ්බේ. ඊට අමතරව ලක්ෂ 28ක් ඔවුන් ඇස්තමේන්තු ගත කරලා තිබ්බේ බදු වශයෙන්. ප්‍රවාහන අමාත්‍යාංශයේ ලේකම්තුමා එක්කත් මේ සම්බන්ධයෙන් සාකච්ඡා කරා. එතුමත් හැමදාම දිනේ කල්දදා හිටියා. ඉතින් අපි ඉල්ලා සිටිනවා තවත් ජීවිත මේ ස්ථානයේ නැති වෙන්න කලින් මේ ස්ථානය සකස් කරලා ලබා දෙන්න කියලා.
Adani Group is planning to invest over $1 billion in setting up projects in Sri Lanka to generate electricity from wind. Let's take a look at more details on tonight's edition of Finance Report.
The Newsfirst Finance Report.
Adani Group is planning to invest over $1 billion in setting up projects in Sri Lanka to generate electricity from wind in what would be the island nation's single largest foreign direct investment and the biggest ever power project. Indian media reported that group firm Adani Green Energy Limited will set up 2 wind farms in Sri Lanka's Mannar town and Punarine village in the northern province with a total installed capacity of 484 megawatts at an investment of about $740 million. The related infrastructure that would transmit electricity to consumption centers will see further investment of over $290 million. Last month, Sri Lanka had entered into an agreement to buy electricity from Adani's wind power stations for 20 years. Adani Green Energy Limited will be paid 8.26 cents per kilowatt hours as per the agreement. This is lower than up to 26.99 cents per kilowatt hour paid to thermal projects of state-owned CEB and 9.67 to 13.99 cents per kilowatt hour for wind projects. It is lower than 8.75 cents per kilowatt hour paid for the Odamavadi solar project.
The Newsfirst Finance Report.
In a celebration of diversity and inclusion, Sri Lanka today witnessed pride walks in 2 of its major cities, Jaffna and Nuwara, as part of ongoing Pride Month celebrations.
In the heart of Sri Lanka's north, Jaffna came alive with a vibrant display of pride today. Crowds were seen thronging the streets, their hands held high, waving colourful flags in celebration.
Just goes to show everybody should have a chance to love the person that they want to love and to be free to do that. And I think that's a powerful message.
In Nuwara, crowds gathered today to celebrate Pride Month as well. People waved colourful flags, creating a festive atmosphere.
Day 21 of the third phase of the LOSC Divisavya program, which is being carried out for the betterment of Sri Lanka's future generation, got underway today.
Today's program centered around the Jaffna district. Under the Divisavya program, exercise books and stationery equipment required for a year are distributed free of charge to government schools with less than 150 students. Accordingly, school bags and stationery equipment were donated to students at St. Joseph's Vidyalaya, Pasiru St. Anthony's Roman Catholic Balika Vidyalaya, Urelu Ganesha Vidyalaya and Valikaman Zonal Educational Office this morning. The LOLC Divisavya team will be distributing schooling essentials to students at the Avarangal People's School, St. Roger's Roman Catholic School, 19 Navalur Mahavidyalaya, Nallur Kasipilai Vidyalaya, St. Guntan Hindu Vidyalaya and the Jaffna Zonal Educational Office within the day. The LOLC Divisavya program continues to forge ahead for future generations of Sri Lanka.
Shifting your attention to international news. The swearing-in ceremony of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Council of Ministers following his re-election in the 2024 general election is scheduled for tomorrow. On this occasion, leaders from India's neighbourhood and Indian Ocean region have been invited as distinguished guests.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi was formally elected leader of the National Democratic Alliance coalition, which won the most seats in the national election after his political party failed to win a majority on its own. The 73-year-old leader will be sworn in as Prime Minister tomorrow. For a rare third term, will now form a coalition government. President of Sri Lanka Ranil Wickremesinghe, President of the Maldives Dr. Mohamed Muizzu, Vice President of Seychelles Ahmed Afif, Prime Minister of Bangladesh Sheikh Hasina, Prime Minister of Mauritius Pravind Kumar Jagnal, Prime Minister of Nepal Pushpal Kamal Dahal and Prime Minister of Bhutan Shering Topgay have accepted the invitation to attend. In addition to participating in the swearing-in ceremony, the leaders will attend a banquet hosted by President Draupadi Murmu at the Rashtrapati Bhavan the same evening. The visit of the leaders to attend the swearing-in ceremony of Prime Minister Narendra Modi for his third consecutive term is in keeping with the highest priority accorded by India to its neighbourhood first policy and Sagar vision.
Gaza's government media office said the Israeli massacre at the Nusayrat refugee camp has killed 210 Palestinians and wounded more than 400.
According to the government media office in Gaza, what they call the Israeli massacre that took place in Nusayrat refugee camp has led to the killing of 210 Palestinians and the injury of more than 400. The Israeli occupation forces launched numerous airstrikes on the Nusayrat refugee camp in central Gaza. According to reports, dozens of Israeli rockets targeted civilian homes in Nusayrat camp. Many women and children are among the casualties being reported to the Al-Aqsa hospital using animal-drawn carts and private vehicles due to the dire circumstances of the healthcare system.
The Bangladesh cricket team emerged victorious in a thrilling encounter against Sri Lanka at the ICC T20 World Cup 2024. It was second consecutive defeat for Sri Lanka in the tournament. This marks Bangladesh's first ever win over Sri Lanka in the history of T20 World Cups. The match was held at Grand Prairie Stadium in Dallas, USA. Winning the toss, the captain of Bangladesh cricket team, Najmul Hussain Santo, decided to bowl first. Bangladesh made an early breakthrough when Kusal Mendis was dismissed for 10 runs, restricting the Sri Lankan opening partnership to just 21 runs. Kamindu Mendis could only manage 4 runs. Pathum Nissanka emerged as Sri Lanka's top scorer, contributing a valuable 47 runs to the innings. Bangladesh's bowlers found success as Charita Solanka fell for 19 and captain Wanindu Hasaranga was dismissed for a duck.
This is absolutely brilliant from Bangladesh.
Angelo Matthews chipped in with 16 runs. The Sri Lankan team, which once again showed a weak batting performance, managed to score only 124 runs with a loss of 9 wickets in their 20 overs. Mustafizur Rahman spearheaded the Bangladeshi bowling attack, claiming 3 crucial wickets of the Sri Lankan innings. Bangladesh's chase started shaky with 2 early wickets falling for just 6 runs. However, Liton Das scored 36 runs and Tawid Hirdoy scored 40 runs, steadying the Bangladeshi innings. Despite Nuwan Tushara's impressive bowling performance of 4 wickets for 18 runs, Bangladesh chased down the target with 2 wickets remaining in the 19th over.
So Bangladesh win by 2 wickets in the end.
From that, we bring to a close this edition of Primetime News on TV1. For details of the stories and much more, simply log on to our website www.newsfirst.lk. For the News First, where the people come first, I'm Martin Satyanesan. You take care and good night.